I'm Jason. This is Rick. Welcome to the Weekly Spread. Hey guys, welcome to the first episode of the Weekly Spread. This is the show where we have an opportunity to talk about all the news that happened in pop culture this week, Rick.
And there's a lot. There is a lot to cover.
Yep, absolutely. So without mucking around here, Rick, I say let's get straight into
sounds
movie
good.
news. Well, we had some big news this week in the world of movies and cinema.
We did.
I think the biggest news from the week was D23.
Huge.
Disney's version of Comic-Con.
Yes.
And mate, did they hit us with some bombshells throughout that weekend? I mean, let's talk about Incredibles 2 straight away. They released Incredibles 2 footage, which obviously little old us we didn't get to see, but there's been plenty of descriptions of what they actually showed. And what apparently they showed was a clip of Mr. Incredible finding out that the baby, Jack Jacks, actually has superpowers.
Little Jack
Which is
Jack.
great. And it also indicates that the film clearly is happening straight after the first film. So even though there's been 13 years, will be 15 years.
Do you think that's too long?
It is. I mean, they probably should have pumped out a sequence. It's hard to believe we've had 3 Cars movies before we got an Incredible sequel, but this is where we are.
Yeah.
So I'm glad, I'm thankful at least it's coming back.
Yeah,
Everybody's back on board. Even Edna Mole will be back, and she was my favourite character from Incredibles 2. But that wasn't the only thing, obviously, D23 released in regards of animation. They also gave us some footage of Wreck-It Ralph 2.
Nice.
Fantastic. Great title, Ralph Breaks the Internet, which I love.
Wicked.
And apparently the scene they showed was a scene with him actually going through the internet and actually getting into the Disney website. And there's apparently a scene where he's surrounded by Marvel characters, Star Wars characters, and some of the Disney princesses.
Yep.
So that I reckon is going to be absolutely fantastic.
Sounds good.
Absolutely. Now in the live action area, Rick, mate, straight away they kind of hit us with a big announcement, and it wasn't any surprise, but I think they showed a little bit of a Lion King.
Okay.
John Favreau, who directed the highly successful Jungle Book from last year, and of course director of Iron Man and Iron Man 2 and obviously other movies. He's back to do a Lion King for Disney again.
Okay.
Obviously they've just announced that Hugh Jackman will be playing.
Oh, that's huge.
Yeah, he'll be in the movie. So
who's he playing in the
Scar? I believe.
Oh, the baddie.
I believe in Scar, which was interesting casting.
Interesting. Okay.
So, but now that you've got Donald Glover, James L. Jones is back.
Wow.
Which is absolutely fantastic. But besides that, they also released a bit of a snippet for the sequel. You talk about long time between sequels, Rick. Mary Poppins Returns.
Yeah, it's a long time.
Like,
there you go.
We're talking 60 years since sequels.
Yeah.
But it does return. Emily Blunt is playing the titular character. Look, it'll probably really. It's a full blown musical. You know, it's probably going to be fun. It's for the whole family. It's being released at Christmas this year, which is great counter programming for Star Wars when it comes out. So Disney's got all bases covered in that regards. Talking of Star Wars, holy moly!
Look out! Here we go.
Normally we would expect probably a trailer at this time of year, but Disney in the last couple of years have been moving away for that. In Rogue One, around this time last year, they gave us behind-the-scenes footage, which was really fantastic. They've done the same this time. And Rick, it was really highly emotional because they showed scenes with Carrie Fisher in there and all that. Look, I bought my tickets 5 years ago. I mean, I'm in no matter what. That's the point. They wouldn't have to release another trailer, mate. And I'm lining up first day. It's going to be phenomenal. Rian Johnson's going to be directing this. You know he's a great storyteller. Mate, I just cannot wait.
It's going to be huge.
Yeah, but Star Wars, that wasn't just it with them. They had another massive announcement that wasn't actually movie news, but I do want to mention it here. Star Wars Land, they've announced. And that is at the back of Disney lot. They've built this giant, what they're announcing, the Galaxy's Edge. Area where you'll be able to go in and be immersed in the world of Star Wars. And they're saying a full immersion, meaning you go in and you will not be able to see the outside world. You will be in the world where Star Wars characters, buildings will be as high as you see them in the movies. It's going to be a fully immersive experience, full-size Millennium Falcon. I mean, they've got the whole lot there. So, opens in 2019. I know my wife has said yes to going over there in 2019. So, mate, I've got my bag.
We're there, mate. We're there. We'll do a live show
I'll
there.
go to the airport about 18 months beforehand and wait. So,
let's lock it in now, mate. Let's lock it in now.
But it's not just about Star Wars. It's not just about animation and
Yeah.
Pixar. And it's not just about Disney films. Marvel, mate, they brought out... I was going to say the big guns, but I have a feeling the bigger guns coming out this weekend at Comic-Con.
Yeah, definitely.
And which we'll cover next week. But certainly, firstly, they revealed these giant statuettes.
Of Thanos at the front.
And the Black Order.
The
Black
amazing.
Order, which looks incredible. And you can see that footage, and I'll pop a picture up right now, as you can see. These characters look absolutely fantastic. Certainly, I think it adds that extra dimension. I love the look of Thanos too.
Yeah.
You know, it's the first time we're kind of seeing him without all his armor.
Yeah, but you got the
everything.
full body shot of him, so you know what he's.
Yeah.
what he's
And
looking
Josh Brolin was interviewed, and he was saying that people are going to be very surprised about the emotional depth of Thanos. So I thought that was an interesting tidbit as well. So they obviously showed them, but they also brought out, obviously, as they do, the maestro, Kevin Feige, was up on stage, brought in the whole entire cast of Infinity
awesome.
War.
Yeah.
Far missing a couple, but mate, chills up the spine kind of stuff, knowing that we're less than a year away from Marvel Infinity War.
All those characters on the screen.
Absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
So no, I
Huge.
mean, I absolutely think it was an amazing announcement for that weekend. But that wasn't the only thing that was popped out on the weekend. I think something else worth of note is mentioning is Blade Runner 2049 trailer came out. Trailer 2, or the official trailer.
Yeah.
Mate, that blew me away. Someone who was a fan of the classic Ridley Scott 1982 masterpiece. I'm really excited to see where they're taking this franchise.
Which direction they're going to go.
It's clear to me that they are going to be taking it into a different kind of pathway, but still encapsulating the universe, the characters in that original film. I think the other thing also, Rick, another big news, I'm really proud about this, not that I had anything personally to do with it, but I love the film. Wonder Woman, mate. Huge. Wonder Woman is probably out now, I think it's about 5th week. It is now the 3rd highest grossing DC EU movie, behind The Dark Knight and The Dark Knight Rises.
Who would have thought? Who would
technically, Wonder Woman is the highest grossing and the most popular DC EU film in this current universe they've created.
Yep.
So, yeah, absolutely. Now, as I mentioned, Comic-Con has started this coming up this weekend. Next week, guys, just to let you straight off the show will be very Comic-Con centric related, and we'll be going through all the coverage of what happened that weekend. And just before we move on to music news, dude, reports this morning that Ben Affleck is out as Batman. Strong rumors going around Comic-Con this morning that he's actually may not appear in the film. The rumours are that Matt Reeves, the new director of Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, as well as War of the Planet of the Apes, pitched a trilogy of films for the Batman.
And Matt, he didn't like it.
And there's rumours going around that the Batman stories that he wants to tell doesn't involve Ben Affleck. So big news, big rumours coming out of Comic-Con at this stage. And like I said, it is only a rumour, but usually these rumours circling around Comic-Con generally has some validity to it.
Well, we'll have to wait and see what happens with that.
Mate, that's huge. Okay, which I said music news, but I'm wrong. I think it's time for streaming news.
Streaming news, guys. Awesome. All right. Well, in this segment, we're just going to talk about what's hot in purely streaming here in Australia. So we've got 3 main, outlets that we use here in Australia. We've got Foxtel. We've got Netflix Australia, which is completely different to the US Netflix. They still have the main shows on there, but
all the Netflix made shows we have.
Main shows are on there, but And then we also have Stan, which I highly recommend as well. Stan is another great little outlet as well.
So
And they're very
Fox
affordable.
Cable and Netflix and Stan is
It's
streaming.
streaming.
Yeah.
But they're all,
They're
And
all
I think-
streaming in their own way.
I think, yeah, that's right. So straight off the bat, I think we're going to go straight into Foxtel, and we're going to obviously talk about Game of Thrones, Season 7, which was huge. That's on the Showcase channel. That's on at 11 a.m, and you can also catch it at 8:30 p.m. Mondays, and that streams the same day as the US.
Same day?
Same day as the US.
Back in the day, Rick, we'd have to wait 7 years before
yeah.
we get an episode.
Yeah.
But yeah, things have changed.
Great episode. Look, we all
Really?
know the downfall. We all know. We're all going to say it. Ed Sheeran's appearance, his cameo was just was woeful. Ed, stick to music. You fantastic at music, but
I've never seen this. I'm gonna say, I've never seen a TV show where you're so into it. I'm so into this episode, and then I've been yanked out of the Matrix.
Yeah.
Ed Sheeran appears and just takes you right out of it.
He just, I think he's a massive fan, and they incorporate it. But we're all massive fans, But because he's obviously a celebrity, and they just put him in there.
A kid going hodl down the street. I mean, mate, keep to what you know, Ed. All right.
Just terrible. But on that note, fantastic episode. So there's obviously more to come on there. Second, another show that's doing really, really well at the moment is Taboo, which is the new Tom Hardy TV series.
Tom Hardy, Venom.
Tom Hardy, Venom. Great to see Tom in an actual TV show, I think, back in it, which is good. And he's a phenomenal actor. So
I'll watch anything he's in.
It's good. So that's on the BBC, part of the drama pack, and that's on Mondays at 9:30 p.m.
Cool.
So just quickly,
Check it out.
it's just about his character, James Delaney. He returns during the war in 1812 and to rebuild his father's shipping empire.
Right.
So, and then he obviously comes across his competitors and everyone makes it a bit difficult for him.
Very colonial type
Very
of
colonial, yeah. So, a bit like Frontier, that type of show.
I suppose it's not colonial, it's more... it's more in the 18th century, because colonial would be like...
Anyway. But anyway, look, check it out, guys. Second one that we've got... what are we moving into now? Wasted on the Sci-Fi Channel. This isn't an English show.
English?
It's an English show. Yeah.
I'm a fan of English comedy.
English comedy is fantastic. There's a lot of big name English characters in there, or I should say. Good thing about this, English shows, I don't know if you're not a fan or not, they only do 6 episodes a season.
Yeah, they really have short seasons.
Very
don't they?
short seasons. But if you're a fan of In-Betweeners, I totally recommend this show, Wasted.
Now that's
definitely.
an endorsement, mate. Because In-Betweeners is one of those classic shows.
It's got that type of feel to it. So it's that surreal slacker comedy that's set in the West Country village of Nestonbury, and sees the return of Kent after he fails to make it as a DJ, and he returns to his school friends, but it's got that feel of In-Betweeners.
So basically, Wasted and Taboo have the same kind of plot.
Pretty
so
much.
they both come back.
But one's a drama, one's a
survive. Okay.
So get on, guys. Let's move on to Netflix. Now, Netflix have just released the first season of Friends from College.
Oh, I saw this pop up on my feed.
Yeah. So Friends with College is just basically 20 years after graduation, a tight-knit group of friends, college friends, they reconnect to discover that love hasn't gotten any easier with age.
Oh, wow.
Big star of it is Keegan-Michael Key, which is part of Key and Peele. So if you watch Key and Peele...
that is a funny show.
So if you know Key and Peele, then Keegan is in it. So,
Right.
Worth a watch. You can watch all the seasons straight off, all the episodes of the first season.
Brilliant.
Now, Stan. There's some great shows at the moment on Stan. You know, we've got Preacher, which is moving into season 4 at the moment.
Twin Peaks.
Season 2. Twin Peaks have just relaunched.
It's weird as F,
but
it's worth watching. Great show.
And then they've also got Power Season 4, which is streaming as well. But the big one I want to talk about, which I absolutely love this show, is I'm Dying Up Here, Season 1.
I watched the first 2 episodes, dude, the other night, Thursday night I did.
It is phenomenal show.
It's good show.
It is basically the plot, or the structure of the show is it's a group of comedians, and it's their struggle to make it big in the 70s in the LA comedy scene. Right?
Wow, that was
So-
the era too when the comedy nightclubs and that were really booming.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah,
And
yeah.
really, the most interesting thing about that time too, the pinnacle of a comic would be the main aim, and they address this in the show really up front, is if you want to be upper echelon, you get onto the Tonight Show with Johnny Carson.
Yeah.
And the show deals with that.
And he's depicted in the season as well.
Yeah.
The good thing about this show is actually the executive producer is actually Jim Carrey, which is huge. And Jim actually, you've seen a lot of interviews, and Jim actually was talking about how he incorporates bits of his life
Yeah.
in the show. So there's one scene in the first season, which, it's irrelevant. It's not, anything big, so there's no spoilers or anything. But to give you an idea, there's two comedians that come from Boston and they need to find a place to live, and that actually falls through. So they, they find refuge, or they live in a wardrobe. So, yeah.
What, in a cupboard?
Like a cupboard. Yeah, like
I saw that scene. Yeah, it's fantastic.
So, and that is actually Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey actually did that in real life.
There's a nice little sting at the end.
Yeah,
They look down and go, "Is that a cat box?" It's a cat.
So they're in a wardrobe. So, but has got some adult themes and that, so it is more adult orientated. So not really
it's
good
more
for
of a
the
drama
kids.
than it is
More
a
of a
comedy.
drama than a
But
comedy.
it's
Yeah,
definitely got some funny things in it.
yeah, definitely. So,
All right, is that it for streaming?
that's it for streaming, guys. So yeah,
Let's
there
talk
you go.
about gaming. Big news in gaming this week. Really big news, Rick. I think most of the biggest news came from D23, where they released some more footage, story mode footage of Battlefront 2.
Oh, wow,
The
okay.
highly anticipated
Star
sequel
Wars.
to Star Wars Battlefront.
Wow.
They really look like they're up in the ante here. The game was very popular when it was released. Unfortunately, people did complain, though, about some of its limitations. Mate, they've gone all out in this one. It's far more expansive. You can play in the original trilogy, the prequel trilogy, the new trilogy.
Wow.
The maps look huge. You've got a rank up system this time, I think, which is a lot better. It looks absolutely fantastic. Not released till November. I cannot wait, Rick. This is going to be big news. The other big news of the week was that Destiny 2 beta was released. So those who are big Destiny fans have got a taste of the new sequel coming out. And certainly Destiny being a massive hit out there in the console markets, it's really great to see that they've upped the ante again.
Yep.
And looks like it's going to be a huge release for the Christmas time.
Yep.
Moving on as well, D23, back to them, released some Spider-Man footage of their new Spider-Man game, which most people are saying, oh, okay, this must be the game that ties in with Spider-Man Homecoming. That is not correct. What has happened, and it was also just released yesterday, that Marvel is now creating, the video game division are creating their own versions of Marvel characters, and they're going to be creating a gaming universe.
Oh, wow, okay.
So this version of Peter Parker in the Spider-Man game, he's 23, he's a scientist, he's hooked up with Mary Jane, so he's an adult now, all right? And they'll have that character in this game. That character will then be in other games, and that's the same with they'll be able to introduce X-Men like Wolverine, or bring in the Fantastic Four, and they'll be able to create quite a unique gaming universe. So the footage what I have seen of Spider-Man though looks phenomenal. It's a gorgeous looking game, looks a lot of fun, swinging around the place, going on missions, really, really great, excellent. And the only other news I've really got this week, and my frustration of this week, has to go to the makers of Cookie Blast. Thank you, Cookie Blast. As you can see, this game is one of those swipe games. Kind of a game I play in bed at night just before I'm going to go to sleep, something like that. I've been stuck on the same fucking level for over a week. Fuck you, makers of Cookie Blast. All right? Fuck you for not letting me get to sleep on time. Fuck you for making me angry. And another fuck you for making me come back and play more. But until that, that's all the gaming news. What are we on to now?
We got music
news.
I guess we're going to cover the breaking news that is hit the internet. which was the passing of Chester Bennington, the lead singer of Linkin Park.
So sad.
He died at the age of 41. They found him in his Los Angeles County, in his Los Angeles home. He actually hung himself, which is very, very sad. And I guess it's a big thing, guys. This is a big message for everyone. Suicide is huge, and people just need to
It's
talk.
never an option.
It's
If
never
you feel
an
like
option.
You need to talk.
That's right.
You need to. You're feeling down or something. Reach out.
That's right.
There
That's
are
right.
people there who'll be more than happy to help you, give you guidance, hopefully steer you in the right way.
Yeah.
You know, we've got no evidence that we have any other shot in life but the one we're in right now.
That's right.
Make the most of it.
That's right.
Absolutely.
Everyone's got friends. Everyone's got good friends.
Yeah.
If you just feel like down and you're having a bad day or whatever, just have a chat. Just
Yeah.
talk, because it'll save your life. So, unfortunately, yeah, that's some sad news there. But obviously, our condolences go out to the family and the music industry out there. It's pretty big news.
It's a massive loss.
It's a big loss for a lot of fans and so forth with Linkin Park. So we don't know what direction the band's going to go. So I'm sure there'll be some more news leading out to that as well.
Yeah.
On to some Adele news.
Adele!
Adele. Now, we all know Adele cancelled her big tour that she was doing.
What's
she
with
came
that?
back in July.
Why did she do that?
She had some vocal strain on her vocal cord, so she can't talk or sing. So she had to cancel her tour. Now, the update on that at the moment is she's obviously healing better and she's attempting to save her vocal cords. So she's actually doing sign language. So she's finding it very hard in her normal everyday life to communicate. So she is trying to get better so she can get back out and be good for the fans, because
So she will continue.
yeah,
with her
she will
world tour?
continue. She will continue. We just don't know when. She's just obviously, because there were some fans that got a little bit upset with her, but you know, that's life, people. She's only human.
Ah.
Now, moving on to a bit of metal news. Guns N' Roses. Now, when I heard this, I was just like, are you fucking kidding me? Guns N' Roses. Now, Guns N' Roses have done their reunion tour, which continues to soar. Now, it's taking the lead to the highest grossing tour of the year so far. Now,
What?
Yeah, I know. Of all the bands, if you look at all the bands out there, this band has just skyrocketed. Now, according to
Awesome.
reports that, now we're going into US dollars, they've grossed 151.5 million this year, which is equivalent to around 190 million Australian dollars. Huge.
I'm speechless.
Yeah, and they are also the only group to sell more than 1 million tickets in 2017.
Wow.
And we're only halfway through the year. So that is massive. So if you did see Guns N' Roses last year, great show. So if you still got a chance to go see them, go check them out for sure. Just moving on to some news about Pandora streaming. I don't know if people have heard. You probably would have seen them.
I've heard of
around.
I'm a Spotify guy.
Yeah, and this is the reason what's happening is Pandora is actually shutting down their Australian and New Zealand operations.
Well, they're toast here.
Toast, gone, see you later. Yeah.
Why?
So, what you mentioned, Spotify.
Okay.
Spotify's just dominated.
Yeah.
Spotify, and then you've got iMusic, which is coming up very soon, so they're going to
Well,
start
I'm going to
dominating.
say, as I'm a father of two and I've got a wife. Spotify Family Pack that I get, and it's around $15-16 a month. That's fantastic. We all have our own music, our own playlist. We can download music to listen to even if we're not online. I actually love the service. I think it's fantastic. Don't have to worry about storage space anymore. That's a brilliant service.
So it's value for money, and I guess that's where they,
Yeah.
and Spotify just took off at, they had that right niche of the market.
Yeah,
and
right
it
place,
just-
right time.
So yeah, and then Pandora just unfortunately, So you'll notice, I think people who have subscribed will get their money back, and everything finishes up on the 31st of July. So you'll just
Oh,
everything
well,
will
sad to see you
disappear.
go. Don't hit your ass on the door on the way out.
There you go.
See you later.
And that's what we all got for music news for you guys.
That's it, guys.
it.
I think that's basically
That
it
wraps
for the
it
show
up.
today. As we go along each week, we'll be doing more and more different news. If there's a subject you'd like us to cover or talk about, how can they do that, Rick?
Guys, just comment if you like what you saw. Just comment below. Also, please hit the subscribe button. We also have just down the bottom here, you'll see all our social media sites. So please go check them out. And then you can email us, you can comment, you can reach out to us and let us know what you thought. And we really appreciate your support so far, guys.
Again, guys, this has been Jason, this has been Rick, and you've been watching The Weekly Spread.